I'd like to thank you for tuning in to week 4 presentation of the waterfall model in software engineering. First, we will discuss what is a waterfall model, first process model, linear sequential model, and it's the oldest model for software engineering. The waterfall model was the first process model to be introduced. It is also referred to as a linear sequential life cycle model. It is very simple to understand and use. In a waterfall model, each phase must be completed before the next phase can begin, and there is no overlapping in the phases. Waterfall is the earliest SDLC approach that was used for software development. The waterfall model illustrates the software development process in linear sequential flow. It is also referred to as a linear sequential life cycle model. This means that any phase in the development process begins only if the previous phase is complete. Waterfall approach was the first SDLC model to be used widely in software engineering to ensure success of the project. In the waterfall approach, the whole process of software development is divided into separate phases. What you see here is an example of a waterfall model design. It consists of 6 phases. The 6 phases are requirement analysis, system design, implementation, integration and testing, deployment, and maintenance. Requirement analysis phase includes all possible requirements of the system to be developed are captured in this phase and documented in a requirement specification doc. The system design has the requirement specifications from the first phase are studied in this phase, and system design is prepared. System design helps in specifying hardware and system requirements and also helps in defining overall system architecture. The implementation with inputs from system design. This system is first developed in small programs called units, which are integrated in the next phase. Each unit is developed and tested for its functionality, which is referred to as unit testing. Integration and testing. All the units developed in the implementation phase are integrated into a system after testing of each unit. Post-integrating, the entire system is tested for any faults and failures. Deployment or deployment of system. Once the functional and non-functional testing is completed, the product is deployed in the customer environment or released into the market. Last but not least, is maintenance. Unfortunately, we don't live in a perfect world, and there are some issues which come up in the client environment. To fix these issues, patches are released. Also, to enhance the product's better versions. Now, maintenance is done to deliver these changes in the customer environment. All these phases are cascaded to each other, in which progress is seen as flowing steadily downwards, like a waterfall through the phases. The next phase is started only after the defined set of goals are achieved for previous phase and is signed off. In this model, phases do not overlap. Now, advantage and disadvantage of waterfall model. An advantage of the waterfall model, the advantage of it is that it allows for departmentalization and control. A schedule can be set with deadlines for each stage of development, and a product can proceed through the development process model phases one by one. Development moves from concept through design, implementation, testing, installation, troubleshooting, and it ends up at operation and maintenance. Now, each phase of development proceeds in strict order. The disadvantage of waterfall development is that it does not allow for much reflection or revision. Once an application is in the testing stage, it is very difficult to go back and change something that wasn't well documented or thought upon in the concept stage. In conclusion, the waterfall model does have credits. It still remains useful for certain types of projects and can, when properly implemented, produce significant costs and time savings. Now, whether you should use it or not depends largely on how well you behave, how well you believe you understand your customer needs, as well as how much explosiveness you expect in those needs as the project progresses. That concludes my waterfall model and software engineering presentation. Until next time, I'll see you then.